Hello and welcome to PSGcast, the podcast in which we discuss topics related to personal development, coaching and positive psychology. The purpose of this podcast is to discuss and promote personal development through interesting, entertaining and informative discussions. My name is Irek and today with me in our studio we have once again Maureen Hewitt. Hey Maureen, how are you?
Hi Eric, great to be back.
It's really good to be back. It's been a while. Too long. Okay, so we want to pick up on the topics that we actually discussed in our first episode. We were discussing about PSG, about what is PSG, and at the end of our previous episode, we did discuss personal development and coaching, and I think it would be worth to kind of focus on that for a little bit.
Great.
You said yourself in our previous episode that coaching is the best tool and the best thing that you can pick.
Yeah.
If you're looking for personal development.
Yes.
So they say. There are several researchers, I believe, to prove that as well. But
yes.
You don't need that at the moment. So, what would you say? What is coaching? For a person who doesn't know what coaching is, but they would like to have, they would like to be, they like to start developing themselves.
Well, coaching is a process that usually involves two people, a coach and a coachee. And the process is structured to raise the coachee's awareness to the point that they can make informed decisions about goals that they may set in their life and take action towards it. So it takes place over a number of sessions. A session would usually be about an hour long, and each session would have a purpose to it. And that purpose being to arrive at that level of awareness, so the coachee gets to understand who they are. They get to choose who they want to be at that time. They might look at values and beliefs. The idea being that they can support themselves moving forward in their life from a place of awareness, from a place of truth, from a place of being genuine. And also I think what's really important in coaching is what some of our clients say, it allows them to be more assertive, to be true to themselves. Mm-hmm. So when you know who you are and you know what you like and you know what your strengths are, you're more likely to assert that person out in the real world. Mm-hmm. When you don't know who you are, you're more likely to be influenced by other people's decisions. So you'll do what they say. So coaching is a process that allows you to take control and make choices that suit who you are by being aware of who you are.
At the same time, from the definition, the two key components actually stands out to me. The first one of them is self-awareness, and the other one is making informed decisions.
Yes.
So, would you say that it's a really that this is an essence, that this is a product of a good coaching session, self-awareness and making informed decisions?
I think it's one. Yeah, it is certainly what people walk away with at the end of a process. But sometimes people come to coaching, well, there's lots of reasons why people come to coaching. Mm-hmm. So we said personal development, but what does that mean to that person? Some people come for the purpose of being able to make decisions even. Mm-hmm. Some people come because they don't know who they are anymore. Some people come because they don't know what their strengths are, or they're not able to promote who they are from a strengths perspective. So people come for all different reasons to coaching, but in essence what they're looking for is to walk away with something different. So they want to
they want to change.
They want to walk away maybe knowing something different about themselves, right. So knowing something new. What they don't want from coaching is to turn up and walk away at the end of a session going, well, I knew that already. There's nothing new in that. So they want a new level of awareness. And the reason why that's so important, Eric, is that some people who have a great sense of self-awareness may think they don't need coaching because they already know who they are. But in essence, if they come to coaching, they will walk away with something new, a new reality check, some new information about the habits they had that they may have been aware of, but they weren't aware of the impact that it was having on them. So really the essence of what people walk away with is something new.
So in other words, if someone out there is feeling good about themselves and has a good self-awareness,
come and feel better.
Exactly what I was to say.
Yes.
Actually, give us a call and feel even better.
Well, I think what we do is we become... It's like everything else. We fall into this habit of how we see ourselves. And some people may be stuck in that habit. It may be stuck that 20 years ago they were the best in their field, or the best at their job, or the best in their relationship, and they haven't actually moved on. So coming to coaching allows them seek reality, seek out the evidence that maybe they're even better now than what they were 20 years ago. Or maybe there's work to be done. But it is very much a reality check.
So basically we want both people happy and unhappy ones.
We want anybody who's willing to find out something new about themselves and use that information in their life moving forward.
Would you say that willingness to find something new about yourself would be one of the key components that is actually necessary in coaching?
Hugely, and to be honest with you, it's where one of the biggest blocks in coaching can happen, because to arrive at that awareness or arrive at that willingness, you have to overcome a resistance. And some people are very resistant to thinking about themselves differently. They're resistant to change. Mm-hmm. And so even if that change might be to think about themselves even better than what they were before, that can, in essence, because it's change, bring about resistance. So people can want to change, but if they're not willing to overcome the resistance, then they may never get that change. Coaching is brilliant for supporting people through that resistance.
Is it also a good thing to overcome that resistance?
Is it good to overcome it?
Yeah.
Hugely, yeah. I think it's what allows people move up and on, because you can assimilate, or you can arrive at a place where you feel comfortable. And sometimes in coaching and outside coaching we talk about a comfort zone. So in order to stretch and grow and try something new, you have to become uncomfortable, and there is always a resistance to feeling uncomfortable.
It's like an old saying that it's get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, and some people say there's no gain without pain, and all these other statements, and they are the reality. In order to learn something new, there's usually tensions involved, and you have to work through, acknowledge the tensions, acknowledge the resistance long enough to work through them and come out the other side with a new idea.
At the same time, it seems like from what you're saying that there's also a time component piece in there that is very crucial to allow yourself not to only learn a new skill or learn something new, but also to allow that change to happen, that it doesn't happen overnight right away.
No, it's not a magic word.
It brings back the one piece of the definition of the coaching that you use, that it is a process.
Yes.
That it's not a magic wand that coaching is. It's not something
it isn't.
that we have in our arsenal that we can just say magic and magic happens.
No, it's not, and it's certainly not something that we as coaches are able to wave at our clients and it happens. So it's not like we can just show them the content and show them the process and say go away and do it. It is the action that's involved in the coaching that actually makes that happen. And so if you go to the gym, you take on a personal trainer and you go and work out really hard, and the next day you notice, or even after the session you notice, don't feel any different, don't feel like I've tried out any new muscles, don't feel like I've worked any part of my body that I haven't worked before. Mm-hmm. You kind of feel like the process didn't work. So the next day you feel the resistance. If it's been a good personal training session, you feel that resistance because you have sore muscles and you ache. Mm-hmm. And that's the resistance, the piece of uncomfortable. But it also is an indicator something has changed. I've done something different. My body is reacting differently now to who I am. Mm-hmm. Similar in coaching. That yes, you will feel the burn in some parts because it's resistant, but it's okay because you know it's part of the changing process. So you'll feel the pain, you'll understand that it's really more about that awareness and accepting yourself that this is part of the change. Yeah, no pain, no gain.
God, it hurts. Don't worry, it's all going to be good.
Because you know what happens on day 3. Day 2, it's still kind of hurting. And day 3, you're like, thank God. And when you go back to the gym or you go to use those muscles the next time, it doesn't hurt anymore because you flexed them and you've developed them.
It's actually quite an interesting comparison to the gym because it seems like that coaching, not only coaching for you as a facilitator, but also for everyone else as a self-coaching tool, actually depends a lot on using the muscles that we have in our brains.
Totally.
And actually constantly exercising them and sustaining them, nourishing them at the same time.
Yes, and there is a maintenance involved in coaching, this self-coaching ability.
Maintenance.
Well, I think if you go to a lot of trouble to get yourself into a really good shape, it's worth maintaining it. And the maintenance is always less effort than that first initial, going and working on the treadmill, working on the new ideas, working on new beliefs, working on understanding who you are as an individual, where your strengths are, areas for improvement. All that information can feel uncomfortable when it arrives first, but once you work through it, and the best thing about coaching is you're not doing it alone. You can share the pain quite a bit. And as coaches, we prepare our clients for that. So we prepare as part of this process during the structure, during the personal development, no matter what it's on, whatever your topic is. We need to challenge what's in the room to see where the resistance and the tensions are, so we can work through them, and that's where the new ideas come.
So what I was trying to say that we do have a support group for people who are in pain.
We do, yes, and it's called coaching, and that's why there's more than one session to coaching, and that's why it's not a magic wand. It does take commitment to the process. And when you are engaging in a coaching process for personal development, you need to engage in a minimum of 4 sessions to allow for that to happen, the natural development then of the skills and the coping mechanisms and the new strategies arrive before you finish the coaching.
You did mention earlier, but there's actually a lot of reasons why people decide to go on coaching.
Yeah.
Now, from your own experience, just 10 years now as a facilitator and as a brain of a PSG, what the reasons that you've met from graduates? What was their reason for coming onto the course?
Well, if you think about it from a course, and one of the courses, the diploma in executive and life coaching, people come into that course there's usually 3 main reasons for that. One is to walk away with a professional qualification that's recognised. Obviously, that's hugely important to your employability, to getting a job, to being recognised as a professional coach.
Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that makes really good sense. People come on because they already have a job and they need to upskill and they need to have current skills in that job. Because again, we have lots of students and past graduates who were coaching in the workplace, but because they didn't have a professional structure, or they weren't current in their best practice models and tools, they weren't being recognised as coaches. So people use it to upskill and be current with the skills that they have. And the third group of people come is for personal development, is to be exposed to the safe learning environment, to be challenged by the facilitation and the exercises, and also to experience what it's like becoming a practitioner coach. So it's really 3 main reasons why people come on the course.
I like that part about being challenged.
Yes.
Well, can you actually be more specific? What does it mean exactly?
Well, it goes back to what we talked about in one of the other parts, where we talked about the essence of coaching is to walk away with something new. In order to arrive at that new, you need to challenge the reality you're in. So what are your beliefs and what are you good at? And in essence, sometimes it's nearly a reassessing of who you are. Some people really sell themselves short. So they're challenged to actually be able to say, you know what, based on the evidence in front of me, I am actually good at this. I can't go around anymore saying that I'm rubbish at this and I'm no good and I'll never be good at maths, or I'll never be good at learning, or I can never go in a course. The reality is, and the challenge is for them to deal with what's the evidence that's put in front of them.
What came into my mind is that for any other people out there, if your reality sucks and you want to change it, just give us a call.
Yeah, come and get our version of reality. It's always a more positive one.
It's probably better than yours.
It probably is. And again, what we can't do